Well, I'm very privileged in that I've had a very broad liberal arts education and a scientific education. And I take very much the Athenian view of life, that one has one life and one wants to make the best of what one is given with in as many different directions as you can. I have a whole series of, if you like, parallel lives. My principal work is for the British National Health Service, where I work as a consultant surgeon. I work mainly in soft tissue surgery. And in the very broad multidisciplinary training that I've had within surgery, I've also done a lot of academic surgery, research work, scientific work. And I had one particular mentor, Professor Irving Taylor, who was a professor of surgery in Southampton, where I currently work, who was also the earlier editor of the European Journal of Surgical Oncology, which I now edit and have edited for the last 7 years. And he encouraged both my scientific interests and my writing interests. So I have this parallel combination, if you like, an English liberal arts background and also a scientific inquiry background, which goes right back to my education at Cambridge University, where the scientific education was very much in the lead and in the fore, in fact ahead of the clinical education, on the basis that there was a phase in British higher education where in medicine the basic function was to create people who were capable of thinking broadly about subjects, and then on top of that breadth of thinking to put the factual information. What's happened now, perhaps rather more in our education, is that there's been more focus on the facts and less focus on the broader aspects of scientific education. So I come at my current position as from a whole different series of strands, if you like, of educational development. Having reached a point in my career where I have achieved a great deal in surgery and also in science, but particularly as an editor-in-chief of a journal, I'm now looking to find the best way forward to build on the education and the experience that I have over the next 10 or 15 years of my career to help make the most of that experience and pass it on to the broadest range of people. And this is where we come back to discussions that we've had earlier about how working with an organisation like Elsevier, which obviously has worldwide reach and interests and is populated by a very highly motivated and disciplined and capable group of people, how can we work with you to take these new software tools to greater heights. I mean, if you take a strand in my career, when I was at university in Cambridge in the 1970s, it was the height of technical achievement to have a pocket calculator that had a sine and cosine function on it. Now, of course, we've been brought up, educated from the earliest inception of the public internet. I wrote my thesis on an Amstrad 20 megabyte hard disk computer, so I've been all the way through from the beginnings with computing as well, and I consider myself very privileged to have been around and in science and in education and in professional practice during this quite extraordinary phase of growth. Of course, even in the journal world, the impact of the internet has been absolutely fascinating. No doubt that working with Elsevier, the internet has transformed the prospects and the worldwide reach of our own journal. And I think tools like Scopus and Science Direct and Elsevier editorial system are absolutely fascinating and give us a huge opportunity to explore a whole new world of intellectual development and communication. And almost in a way of improving worldwide communication between peoples. I mean, we know where we've been in the world, we know where we're going, but when one looks around the world, there's still huge opportunities for improved communication, taking a sort of, if you like, a liberal political view. And I think that improving communication in science, in medicine, is often one of the first steps to improving communication between people on a more general basis.